Hey, what's up everyone? Paul from Grindhouse Funhouse for my first review of a Blaxploitation movie, and trust me, there's so many more I have in mind that I want to review. I went with one what is very much underappreciated and underseen. It is 1974's Black Samson, directed by Charles Bell, who also did Cleopatra Jones and The Casino of Gold, and it stars Rockne Tarkington, William Smith, and Carol Speed. It's about Samson, a titty bar owner in a black neighborhood trying his best to keep his corner of the world clean of crime and drugs, when vicious mobster Johnny Nappa tries to muscle in on his territory, who refuses to heed Samson's warning and simply won't take no for an answer. Samson must take a brave stand against Nappa and his henchmen to kick them out of his neighborhood and get rid of them once and for all. From this point forward, this is your spoiler warning, so skip to this time shown here if you want to keep Black Samson as a fresh viewing. Also, for all you drunks out there, may I suggest a drinking game. Whenever you hear the word henchman coming out of my mouth, take a shot. You might be dead drunk by the end of this review. We open up with a nod perhaps to the MGM lion, with Samson's own pet lion Voodoo keeping an eye on things. We're at the titty bar Samson owns, and everyone seems to be having a good time. In comes Johnny Nappa, a mobster whose family wants to take over the territory Samson protects. A fun character trait Johnny has, and by fun I mean awful, is that he's a vile racist and misogynist, which we get to see in full display throughout the movie. Johnny's henchman, who he came in the bar with, wants a taste of the dancers he sees on stage and offers $50 to Samson for her.
How much does she cost for the night?
More than you can pay in a year.
I got a credit card.
Jerry, that's for gas, not for ass.
Samson doesn't like the disrespect and not being cool about things, so he gets his giant staff from behind the bar and beats some sense into him. Samson knocks him right the fuck out, picks him off the floor like a baby, and throws him out on the street and tells Johnny he doesn't want to see him or his people in the bar again. Now, there wouldn't be much of a movie if that happened. Old man Henry comes into the bar asking for Samson for a place to stay the night, and tells him he can't sleep in the bar and be his night watchman and keep an eye on Voodoo. It's a nice little scene to show us a benevolent Samson ready to help out his people in need. We're introduced to Johnny's girlfriend Tina, played by Connie Strickland, a nice, if a bit daft, blonde girl who we see Johnny being mean and dismissive with, and her only crime is wanting to spend more time with him. But that's mild comparing to what's going to happen to her later on, because that Johnny is a prince of a guy, I tell ya. We see Samson walking to his bar and meet his people.
Samson himself.
How's it going, Deadly?
Right on, man. Straight as you stick.
Look, come on over to the club sometime and I'll buy you a drink.
Man, I'll do that for a fact.
Right on.
Right on. Got smoke? Yeah, man. There goes a righteous dude. He keeps all the honky motherfuckers off the street.
For how long? Hey, I wouldn't fuck with him. No, sir. He comes down with all the weight.
Then we see him putting the fear of God into a drug pusher who's selling dope to a 13-year-old. Samson ain't having it.
That could have been your head.
Johnny goes to see his uncle Joseph, played by Titos Vendis, the head of the organization, and talks about Samson's turf with him. Johnny has all kinds of plans for it, but can't put them in action because Samson keeps the area too clean. Samson goes see his buddy Art, played by Michael Payne, who runs a funeral home / pushes drug into the community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
And that dude always looks wired as fuck. Don't know if he actually was, or we chalk it up to great acting on his part, we'll never know. Samson gives Art a warning to stay on the side of his sidewalk, to not come push drug in his spot.
Let me tell you something. When Joseph Nappa brings his boys down into this neighborhood, you are going to be the only people on that street.
Johnny comes in Samson's bar to see him, but he's not there. So he's hassling Samson girl Leslie, played by Carol Speed, being all threatening while Voodoo casually sleeps next to them. Meanwhile, we see Samson walking around the neighborhood again with his staff and wearing one of the finest dashikis around. In a first of many attempts, we see Johnny's henchmen trying to take him out and failing. When he's done kicking everybody's asses, Samson comes back to the bar, see what's happening with Leslie and Johnny, and stops it. Samson goes see Uncle Joseph and wants information, tells him he's been seeing his drug dealers sniffing around his streets and if he got anything to do with that.
I assure you I'm not interested in your streets. I've given explicit instructions to my associates.
How about Johnny?
Giovanni? He understands the situation.
That's not what's really happening, because we wouldn't have much of a movie now, would we? Johnny sends the family's lawyer to the bar on the Nappa's behalf to talk to Samson, make him an offer. He does not get the result he wanted. Samson, while threatening him to drop him off his roof, tells him to convey a message to the Nappas.
You don't understand. I want these streets clean, real clean. I want you to go home and tell your clients this neighborhood ain't for sale.
Can't do that.
You can't do that? Huh?
Okay. Okay.
Johnny is having a meeting with a black person who he seems to like, which is very surprising, but regardless says he's got a job for him and to stay on call. Johnny lets his uncle know that the gentle way of doing things ain't working. Uncle Joseph gives Johnny sage wisdom to chew on, but he doesn't listen, and he finally gives in and gives permission to let Johnny do it his way. Samson walks down another alley, this time at night, with his lady, and the black guy we saw earlier talking to Johnny asks for a quarter, and shit goes down with Samson obviously coming out of it victorious, as those henchmen failed again to take him down. Haven't they learned by now that he's too cool a cat to be taken down by fools?
There's a quarter you asked for.
Samson gets some one-on-one sexy time with his lady, which is all tender and sweet, next to Johnny and Tina, who ask her to apply for the dancer's job at Samson so she can spy on him and get some dirt. Tina goes to Samson's bar and tells him she wants to apply for the dancer's job. We see her showing her moves.
She's good.
And we cut to the bar full of people and Tina on stage. And something funny that you'll hear during those bar scenes is the off-camera conversations from people heard on the audio track.
Man, that white girl's almost got rid.
Samson is not very subtly being pursued by a car, so he lures them to a parking lot, and that's where more ass whooping occurs, and you can guess who wins this fight. One of the henchmen that failed yet again to take Samson out comes around to tell Johnny that very fact, and he is not happy, so of course the henchman meets his fate.
Somebody killed him!
Before he drowns, he yells out that somebody told Samson they were coming, which makes Johnny think Tina said something, and he beats the ever-living shit out of her.
Bastard.
We see Samson and Leslie in bed, and Leslie is not happy about what's happening, wants her man to pack and get out. He ain't backing down, so we're getting an award-winning performance from Miss Speed, giving her all.
Are you trying to be some kind of martyr? That's it, you want to die, don't you? Well, I don't want to love a dead man. That's sick. I don't want to sleep with a corpse, a walking, talking dead on arrival.
I've got to hang on.
Samson, back at the bar, warns his people that shit is gonna get down real soon, so they should leave. But they're sticking by him. Leslie goes to see Art asking to help Samson out. She even offers herself to him, but he can't go through with it. As Leslie leaves, Johnny's henchmen were waiting outside of Art's office, kills Art right-hand man, and they kidnap Leslie.
Let's get out of here.
Henry, alone in the bar, chatting it up with Voodoo when a big old dynamite stick is thrown outside the bar's door and... poor old Henry meets his demise. That's when we see Art showing up on the scene, letting him know that Leslie came to see him to try to bail him out, and tells him that Johnny's henchman got her woman. We cut to Johnny being at his warehouse where he's keeping Leslie hostage, and then get into his car, Tina by his side, continuing to be a vile asshole to her, and then pushes her out of the moving car and cuts him to saying,
Loving bitch.
We're back at the warehouse where Johnny left Leslie with two henchmen, and now we're getting the feeling that rape is about to happen. But instead, one of them, the guy from the beginning at the bar with Johnny, pulls a knife and carves something into her chest. Samson visits Tina at the hospital. She tries to let him know this was Johnny's fault, but he knew all along she was a plant. She let him know where they're keeping his woman. He shows up at the hideout, drives through the front door, kills a few people, and rescues his lady. They escape as he tries to get back to his bar. They chase after him, and it is a pretty nice car chase of just crashing into cars one after the other. Two bikers pulls next to Samson's car and he gives them instructions, and they drive forward, putting this plan into action. They're warning everyone on the block to get into place. The plan being boxing in Johnny and his henchmen right in front of the bar so that some neighborhood justice can occur. as they throw garbage and heavy appliances from the rooftops. It's pretty insane. The henchmen aimlessly shooting in the air. We see a few people falling down from those rooftops. It's madness. Mob mentality takes over. And in all that chaos, Samson just strolls in. And by the way, I want to know who's Greenberg and what does he eat? He gives the signal to the people to stop throwing things from the rooftops. And now we're in for the final fight. Samson and Johnny. We hear a few "get him" from the crowd.
All right, you piece of black shit. It's come down to this, now you and me.
Like you want it.
Yeah, just like I wanted it.
And they start fighting to the death, which everyone watches like it was an MMA fight on pay-per-view. No cops around. I don't think they actually exist in this world. They fight for a while, and then he fucking stabs him with his staff. Man, that had to hurt. Ooh, murder is awesome! And the cops finally showing up, proving they do in fact exist. Art goes to Samson and he says, let's work this all out like the good old days.
Like the old days?
Just like him, brother.
As it seems no consequences will befall our main man Samson, no cops trying to arrest him, just ciao bye.
Would you take care of this man, please?
Black Samson.
Look at this.
The only proper way to see Black Samson, and I want to say the only official release it's gotten on physical media, is this 2010 DVD released by Warner Brothers as a 4 Film Favorites edition, the Urban Action Collection, featuring Jim Kelly's Black Belt Jones and its sequel Hot Potato, and the Blaxploitation superstar pairings of Jim Kelly, Fred Williamson, and Jim Brown in Three the Hard Way. And all, and I mean all, are only available on this DVD. No Blu-rays in sight, which is a downright criminal. Warner Archives, if you're watching this right now, get on it. You release all the Shaft movies, Cleopatra Jones, Superfly. Get these 4 fine movies out of DVD Purgatory and give us individual Blu-rays for all. So would I recommend Black Samson? Shit, yeah, I would. Like I said at the beginning, very much underseen and not talked about a whole lot. And I personally believe it's a Blaxploitation entry that is on par with a lot of the classics out there. Rockne Tarkington as Samson definitely has an imposing presence in size and stature. The dude's a cool cat, got some gravitas to him, so I get why people would rally around him and be their leader. If Black Samson were headlined by a Jim Brown or Fred Williamson, this would have gotten way more eyeballs, although Rockne Tarkington walks tall and is equally as badass as those two, and the dude hangs around with a real live lion. A sedated one, I'm sure, but don't remember seeing Brown or Williamson doing that sort of crazy shit. Speaking of the lion, I'm just sad Voodoo didn't eat anybody. You don't introduce a lion as your pet and you not use him. He just sleeps 95% of the time. What a bummer. I wanted some lion carnage, damn it. All-timer William Smith, acting legend in the exploitation genre and 80s B-movie world, playing Johnny Nappa all too convincingly as a woman-beating racist, hunky menace to the neighborhood and just vile all around. He oozes scumbaggery. He's so damn good. And I really love that final showdown between those two, Samson and Nappa, and that whole insane neighborhood rising up against Johnny and his henchmen. Just crazy bananas all around, but I loved every minute of it. I'm giving it 7 pent lions out of 10. So that was my review for Black Samson. Go visit all my socials at Grindhouse Funhouse. In the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on Black Samson. More Blaxploitation movie reviews coming up soon, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I'll say to you, ciao bye for now.